Welcome to The Dark Side with Verity, a podcast where we dive into all the real and raw transformations made possible through breathwork. We all have a dark side, but it doesn't need to be heavy. And this is why we share stories to bring in the lightness, to lift the load so that we can all feel a little less alone and know that our stuff doesn't define us. And we move through this lifetime with more ease and grace. Let's dive right in. Welcome back to The Dark Side with Verity. Today we're talking about going slow and why that is actually an advanced skill. Crazy that our life, our world is so fast paced. So we all just step up to that pace. Is that helpful? Not really for our nervous system. So what I want to discuss is how we can slow down and why timing and how we can slow down, why restraint, why going slower, why pacing are all signs of mastery. The world never ceases to amaze me. The things that we used to strive for a long time ago are now the opposite. We used to want to get things done really quickly to get ahead. Now we're like, okay, we need to go slow to get ahead. So in saying all that, we're going to start with our breath. Close your eyes. Make them soft. Take a big inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. Beautiful. Do 2 more like that. See if you can have an even inhale and then even exhale. Feel the breath as it goes through both nostrils, to the belly, to the chest, and exits your body, allowing you to feel calm. There's a belief in the healing and personal development space that faster is better. And I will tell you, I somewhat agree. When it comes to going through grief, there are moments where I just wished it away. I look back now and think my process taken so long. But what I'm really speaking to today is fast breakthroughs, faster releases, faster transformation. While that is great and it is possible, in my experience and the body's experience, speed is rarely a sign of mastery. Going slower often requires more skill, more regulation, and more confidence in the process. So today I just want to talk on pacing and why slowing down is an advanced skill. How urgency shows up in the nervous system and what ethical restraint actually looks like in real time, in real life. A lot of the time we've now associated speed with effectiveness. Fast progress feels reassuring in a culture that provides value for productivity. Big shifts are often rewarded socially and online, but the nervous system doesn't integrate at the speed of the mind. The mind loves speed because it creates certainty. I can get all these things done in this specific time. The body prefers pacing because it creates safety. Urgency is not motivation. It is activation in the body. Urgency will narrow your perception. Urgency can sometimes feel convincing because your body's like, hey, just get it done and over with. Urgency can be mistaken for intuition or alignment. Well, if it's here and now, it must be the right thing, right? But when urgency is present, the nervous system isn't asking, is this right? It's asking, how do I resolve this quickly? It's getting accustomed with what slowing down actually feels like and does in the body. How slower pacing allows your nervous system to track safely. Why pauses cause integration time. And how slowing down widens the attention and choice. So think about it. I talk a lot about resetting your nervous system. It's not something you do in one session. Your body requires consistency and to be able to track safety. So that's why science proves that 20 minutes a day for 14 days in a row at around the same time every day, laying your body in the safest position possible. So that's on your back with your legs up at 90 degrees and ideally calmly breathing or doing a meditation. That consistency will then turn into a lifelong practice. And this is not about doing it at 5 a.m. in the morning or whatever. If that works for you, great. When I'm working with clients, I make it work for them. Sometimes there's no time that you have 20 minutes just to lay down in a day. So we do that in bed. There's ways around everything. Not the point here. The pause, like those moments that you meditate, that nothingness, and then all of a sudden, all the decisions you need to make seem clear. It feels like magic in the moment, yet the next day we can quite often forget. It's when you slow down, your body, your attention span feels like it has space to decide. Without that, it's this continuous push and rush, and all that's going to end up being is us all frazzled humans running around, pushing each other to do better. The world can't keep going like that, and it won't. It hasn't. It's stopped. There's more and more people doing breath work. There's more and more people understanding that this is what is needed and necessary in their daily lives. Because without it, your performance is going to go down. It's not sustainable to continue to push. Slowness gives the nervous system time to orient. And orientation is what tells the body, I'm here, I'm safe, I have options. When that's taken away and you're in a stressful situation, you feel like you have no options. You feel like you can't make a decision. There's no other way but the one in front of you to get yourself out of that situation. It's why when people in DV situations freeze, people in rape situations freeze. And people say to them, well, why didn't you do something? There's nothing to do in that moment. Your body was frozen. It's science. Going slower is not passive. And if going slow feels to you like it's unsafe, you need to regulate more. You need to practice the Vidya daily because that's a 2-part breath of calm and putting your body into controlled stress so that when it happens, your body is not going to panic. Going slower is active containment. It's like doing a yin practice. So in yin, you hold the body in these poses where often your energy lines, your blood is constricted. Then you lay the body down in your resting pose. That's done for 1 minute after. That's where all the magic happens. Same in life. We can't stay in this squeezed state. Choosing to pause instead of push will allow you to process forward. Because if you're pushing like this, it's not going to happen. If you push and pause, there's a way forward. Allowing silence instead of filling the space. I want you guys to practice this. Notice when you talk too much. If there's quiet and then you quickly have to say something or you quickly trauma dump and tell someone everything. Are you okay with silence? If you're not, practice it. Practice being uncomfy because that allows you to be a comfy person. If you're in sales, if you're working with people, if you're working with children, you regulating your body and being able to be silent is so grounding and calming for other people. You don't need to be the loudest. You don't need to talk the most. You don't need to be the most extreme. That's so stressful for people. And people don't want to be around that all the time because it dysregulates them. Imagine if we were all able to ground ourselves. You would always be able to roll into any room just being you, not putting up your walls of protection. Going slow is really important, especially if your system is activated. You need to reduce the intensity. Maybe stopping is too much. So this is when you need to go slow. If you're working with clients, there's always time to go slower in a session or stop the session before something escalates that the client's not ready for. There's some times when we don't need to push straight away. Going slow is the answer. Pacing isn't the absence of leadership. It is leadership. You need to know when to lead, when to go, when to pause, when to slow, when to stop. Otherwise, it's just a free for all. Restraint builds trust because your clients will trust you when you, as a facilitator, don't need an outcome. And this is when you can see a facilitator hasn't done the work. They haven't done their own work because they are pushing their clients to breathe harder, breathe longer, breathe more extreme. There's a horror stories of people being on retreat and they are yelling at clients to tell them what's wrong with them. And the clients are going, they're like, you're basically pulling blood out of a stone. They're forcing people to sit in circle and talk about what's happened to them. And it's like this extreme version, or they're breathing people so hard that they're weeing themselves. This I hear so much, and it's so disturbing. It's why I'll continue to talk about this, because safe facilitation is really important. It is such an important job in this life, in this world. You can't change my mind otherwise. If a facilitator needs something from their client, it's a backwards exchange. They don't understand how to hold space. They're there to perform, and that is it. Over direction or forcing someone into a facilitator's way, it takes away safety. When someone doesn't rush you, your nervous system learns that it won't be overridden here. This again is so important because as a client, as a person breathing, you want to know that you're good at this. You can't be bad about healing your own body. It's impossible. And this overarches to everything: leadership, relationships, business decisions, personal growth. Slowing down isn't just a facilitation skill. It's a life skill. It's how we learn to stay present where there's no immediate resolution. This is how we remove anxiety. Presence. Being able to breathe in that moment slowly. It's why the work we do inside Vidya focuses so heavily on pacing, on regulation, not to slow down people unnecessarily. We don't need little turtles rolling around, but to make sure the system is resourced enough to move forward sustainably. None of this here is about a quick fix. It's about teaching your body lifelong skills and tools to feel good, to feel calm, to make decisions with ease. If slowing down does feel uncomfortable, it doesn't mean you've failed. It's just information for your body. Often what feels like resistance in the body is just the nervous system asking, knock, 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 it's time. And learning to listen and lean into that. One of the most advanced skills we can develop is listening. First, listening to ourselves and our own body, then being a good listener, a good friend, a good partner, a good business human. Because all of the cliches are true. We have all the answers within and all of that stuff. It's true. It's about enjoying the journey, understanding our body, because all of these little clues are telling us something. It's like we go to the doctor and we have these symptoms that show up. Like, what are you addressing? To quickly fix the symptoms, or are you going to actually go to the root cause and understand the emotion behind it? The ideal world is when we all understand our emotions, right? Then we don't lash out on other people. So it's really important to give yourself permission to feel safe in slowing down. Trust that. Ciao. That is a wrap of The Dark Side with Verity. Thank you for joining and being here to support our guests as they move, shift and share through real transformation, sharing their stories from the darkest of places, allowing you to see their light. This is where the change will happen. You know the drill: like, share, chat about it, connect with us. We're here for more, and you know it.